I have Rocky in the chair with me, so, there he is. You might not be able to see him, but you'll be able to hear him. I'm in my back porch studio. This is where I move the studio when the weather's nice in the spring and fall. So my desk is this tiny little ice cream table and chairs, like this tiny little antique table and chairs. It's very rickety, and there's really not room for Rocky to sit in the chair with me, but that's what he likes to do, and so it's frustrating for him. There's a very nice dog bed here, which I think he will settle into. So welcome. Welcome to my Wednesday studio talk. This will post along with my April monthly wrap-up, where I sort of talk through what the month has been like for me professionally and personally. So I guess I'll talk about that today. April's been interesting. I think I have come into some really, really big understandings this month. Things like, it was sort of like peeling the top layers off of everything and really looking at the truth and looking at what I need to do and where I've been ignoring things that need to be taken care of, that sort of thing. We started the month with that trip to California, and I don't know, I don't even know how to explain what it is about California, but man, we feel so called to be there, and it's not a possibility for us right now. We couldn't uproot our lives, wouldn't want to uproot our lives and move, but so open. We both feel really open to possibilities or any opportunities that might make themselves known to work out there, to do things out there, to travel, to have a reason, to have a purpose, to travel to the West Coast, maybe looking at ways to spend part of the year out there. It's different than other vacations. It's different from other trips. When we go to California, we feel this longing and sadness when we come back, like, oh, it shouldn't be over yet. We should still be there. So that's been interesting. After we came back, slowly I started to feel my creative energy coming back in, and I've been painting, and I go through these little down periods with painting where I can't paint, and then that's been happening again, and I did do a commission and deliver a commission this month. That's the thing that I most want to grow in my business are those commissioned prayer paintings, and just figuring out how to get the word out about them and have people know what it is that I do and why they might want one of these paintings, and getting them into the hands of the people where they belong. That's a big focus for me right now. I also made a realization about, I had been trying and struggling for a while with developing a course that would be a downloadable course that could be evergreen, and I kept starting things and then stopping and throwing them out, and nothing felt right. And I had this epiphany this month about a course that I offered, an email course that I offered several years ago called Indwelling, and it was very popular, and I had really great response from it, and I loved creating it because it felt really at my core, like at the heart of what it is that I have to teach. And so it just occurred to me, I was like, why don't I revamp that? Why don't I restructure Indwelling? So that's what I've been doing. I'm working on that, and I think I'll be ready to launch it in a couple of weeks, and I'm very excited about it because it does feel so much at my essence, which is that spiritual connection, spiritual self-care, really understanding, who and what we are here in the world, what prayer is, what meditation is, and how we all belong to God and to one another. And so look for that. That's coming, and I'm really excited about finishing that up and getting it out into the world. Money is a stressor for me. It always has been. I have felt like there is this giant roadblock in my way, but I'm starting to get some clarity around that this month. we're coming into our last weeks of EFM, which is Education for Ministry. It's a study it's a 4-year program of theological study that I do at my church, and really important to me. I love it, but it does take a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of my reading time, and it's a class, and so there's a lot that goes into it. And so on the one hand, I hate to see it coming to a close because we are graduating some really wonderful people this year who won't be back next year, and that makes me sad. But also it kind of has that summer vacation feeling to it, that, okay, now for a few months I can use that time in different ways. May is shaping up to be really busy in really lovely ways. My grandmother has her birthday in May. There's Mother's Day in May. I'm going to be leading the women of this diocese in their retreat weekend at the Cathedral Domain in prayer painting. So we're going to be painting prayers together. Super excited about that. That's something that I just want to send that message out to the universe. Like, the more opportunities that could come in for me to lead retreats and workshops. I love leading retreats, and I feel very passionate about that and about getting together with women to talk about spirituality, prayer, and creativity. So I'm very excited about that. We have a friend who is graduating from college this month, so we'll be going to her graduation. And I'm also, in addition to all of this, so freaking dedicated to getting rid of the junk in this house. And I mean, every drawer, every cabinet, every room, like really, really not holding on to stuff. I noticed something really interesting this week about clothing, that I have these things that I keep that they technically fit. They do not make me feel good. They are old yoga pants or t-shirts or whatever that I don't really like the way I look in them. I don't really like the way they feel. I've had them for years, but I never consider cleaning them out when I'm cleaning out clothes because they are functional. And I don't want to get rid of something like, well, I need something to wear every day, so this I can wear these, and I'm not going out anywhere, so it doesn't matter. And I had this realization this week about that because I was walking Woody and I was wearing such an outfit. And I was thinking, oh, it doesn't matter because I'm just walking the dog around my neighborhood. And I realized I never want to feel that way. I never want to feel just functional or just like, well, this works. I want to feel good. I want to feel good physically. I want to feel like I'm presenting an authentic, better, best version of myself. And so I want to apply that to everything, not just clothing, but just objects that I have, things that I keep for a rainy day, like, oh, you better not get rid of this because you might need it. I'm going to get rid of all of that kind of thing. It's just that I've been talking about it for a long time and not really doing it because I feel like I'm constantly running to catch up with my schedule, and I've got these things that need to be done that have been on my to-do list for a really long time, and it's stressful, and I wake up every day and look at my list. If I got to do this, this. And so finding that time to really get into, cleaning the house. I don't know that May is going to be my month because it's looking kind of busy, but I'm hoping to find that time. I've been doing some really, really deep inner work and looking at things from my childhood, looking at patterns and lies that I tell myself, things I drag around with me, healing on a really, really deep level. And so I'm bringing that into May as well. And I think that part of working on yourself is also working on relationships, that the more that you can be in clarity and honesty with yourself about who you are, where your wounds are, what your triggers are, what you need to work on, then the better you can be in relationship to other people. Not only can you see other people more clearly, but you can show up more fully and be there for them and what they need, and be present. And when I think about my relationships, I think about how much I value presence, the presence of the other person, more so than anything they're doing or saying, but just being with me fully, having 100% of that person's attention focused on the moment with me and our conversation. And that's what I want to give as well. That's what I like to receive, and that's what I want to give. I had this epiphany this week sitting in church. I always get there early, even when I try not to. And so I'm often sitting there while the acolytes are lighting the candles and the choir is maybe rehearsing, getting ready, and people are, shuffling around, walking around. And I was sitting there in my usual pew thinking, the liturgy is really a medicine for me for two of the things that I have carried through my life: anxiety and self-isolation. Because communal worship, the liturgy, is something we do together. Our voices come together, our bodies come together. Each individual is necessary to make it work, to make it happen. We're all there, we're all seen and heard. And yet, because we have this wonderful gift of the prayer book, and we know what we're going to pray, and we know the order of service and how this is going to go, there is no anxiety about having to figure out what to say or do in the moment. It's all here, it's printed, we're going to do this, and we're all going to do it together. And I don't know, I've said it before, but to me, the Eucharist is it's like the still point, it's the healing point, it's the set point of my week. It's necessary for me. It's the most important part of my healing and remembering of who and what I am. And whenever I hear people say, I can connect to God by walking in the woods, or I can do it on my own, it's like, yeah, so can I, and I do, and we all should. But I can't offer myself the sacraments, and I can't have communion by myself. And there's something that happens because we are in a community, and it's not a community that we would have chosen. We never would have met each other, probably. We're all a really, weird group of people that come together, that there is such a beauty and a healing and a wholeness and a love in liturgical worship, in coming together as a church community. So I don't know, that's just something I thought about this week. It's something I thought about before church started, and so I wanted to share it because it was definitely a part of my where I was thinking and where I was feeling this week. So I have a tiny little square canvas on my easel right now. I don't know if I'm going to paint today or not. I'm probably going to be working on the chorus. Enjoying the sunshine and welcoming May. So thank you for being here. Thank you, as always, for visiting me here in my studio, whether it's my studio upstairs or my back porch studio. And I always love to hear from you. If there's anything that you would like for me to talk about or any questions that you have for me, please do ask, and I'll be talking to you soon. Oh, look, so I hung these crystal prisms in my kitchen windows, and so once a day it makes these little rainbows all over the kitchen, and I want to try to put one on my third eye. Hold on. Oh, wait, where'd it go? Am I blocking it? No, how could I be blocking it? There it is. Oh, that's cool.